Hi, I'm Garrett Davis, writer and founder of Mama's Girls. And what you're about to see is a culmination of 8 years of work from one of the longest running urban stage plays in the country. And Mama's Girls consist of five sisters from five different cities trying to figure out how they're going to take care of their mother. And we're calling this the return of Mama's Girls because for 2 years, Mama's Girls went on vacation. And what happened was Mama's Girls had a very successful run with AARP, started by Edna Kane Williams and Deborah Tyler Horton, who kind of helped, birth Mama's Girls into one of a major outburst of engaging African Americans about the importance of caregiving and all that takes place, all centered around Project Prepare to Care. Then the American Diabetes jumped on board, and we had Mama's Girls Part 2 called Sugar Ain't Sweet, where we went into the importance of understanding about diabetes. And so between Mama's Girls 1 and Mama's Girls 2, we had a 7 to 8 year run of Mama's Girls. And then Mama's Girls took some time off while other projects were developed with Gdavis Productions and Films. And, the demand was great to bring them back because we kind of wanted to, pre-pandemic, we had planned to put together what we were calling the Mama's Girls Farewell Tour. We were going to feature the Mama's Girls stage play one last time, which have a new storyline, and we was going to tour the country into those cities that were very, very good to Mama's Girls. But then the pandemic hit, and everything got put on hold. But because we decided we could not just put our entire company on hold because of the pandemic, we started a film division, and we took those plays that had, a shelf life of years, and we wanted to put them in some type of television format so that we could stream to the public, so we could still get those messages across. And so we're calling this the return of Mama's Girls. And we were able to film, what we're calling a pilot, hoping that a lot of organizations will, look at how we present Mama's Girls. Our country is definitely right now dealing with a pandemic. COVID-19 has rampant, throughout our country. And, how are loved ones dealing with caring for loved ones with COVID-19? How are we being affected by COVID-19? We have loved ones in rest homes and assisted living facilities. How do we deal with that? AARP has always been, in my opinion, presenting the Bible for caregivers, that book we call Prepare to Care, which Mama's Girls was founded upon. And so, of course, AARP continues to give that information about how to care for that loved one during a pandemic. And that's what we decided to write about with the return of Mama's Girls. For the first 8 years, we talked about Mama. The girls had drama and excitement going on, but you never saw Mama. And this time around in Mama's Girls, the return of, you get to see Mama, played by two-time Grammy Award winner Ann Nesby. And so Mama's Girls consists of five sisters, and I want to introduce those five sisters. One who is not here tonight due to some other prior commitments, Samantha McSwain Stiff, who plays Ruthie Mae, and she's that sister who pretty much the loud mouth is real bossy and kind of bosses everyone around. She's originally from Petersburg, Virginia, and we'll be trying to bring her on a little bit later. But tonight, we have, before you get to see the episodes of Mama's Girls, Julie Logan, who plays Baby Girl from Charlotte, North Carolina. Also, we have Kynya Daniels, who plays Bree from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Latonya Sims, oh my God, funny Latonya Sims from Greensboro, North Carolina, who plays Paulette. Chanel Young from Atlanta, GA, who plays Keke. And of course, we put a male in Mama's Girls too, and he is the fiance of Baby Girl, and that's Dion Jones. Dion Jones. So this is the cast of Mama's Girls, and I want to say, the episode that you're about to see over the next couple of weeks, you're really, really going to enjoy. They did an outstanding job of really developing those characters and taking them to the next level. So first of all, Julie, let's talk about you and I met in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think I was doing the Forget Me Not project and had a little knowing about your personal health dealings with that you were going through, had gone through. So how has being a part of Mama's Girls hit home for you?
Thank you, Garrett. Hello, everyone. Being a part of Mama Girls has hit home for me in actually a positive way because it has allowed me to work through and get through some of the health challenges that I was dealing with during the time of taking care of my mother. When I met you, little did you know that I was the youngest of seven. I was also a caregiver for my mother who had suffered 2 strokes back to back, as well as coming out of being a breast cancer survivor, all of that happening all at the same time. And so I just felt like during that time, I had no time to be sick because I had things to do. I had a message to get out. And being a part of Mama's Girls, the sisters, my sisters that I've been able to meet and travel with all over the country, it's just become a close-knit family that I love so much. And it has helped me to, get through some of the health issues that I had to endure.
Right. Now, with Mama's Girls one of the things that we talk about a lot is prepare to care and having those difficult conversations and trying to find time to have those difficult conversations. Have you found that, you've been with Mama's Girls for the entire time now, when you see families that are going through or about to go through some things, has the Mama's Girls journey made it easy for you to have those conversations and talk to them about certain things?
Oh, absolutely. It's made it even more easier because of the importance of it. When you first go through it, there is no binder, no book initially that tells you how to take care of a loved one on top of dealing with your own. But as siblings, just coming together, no matter how hard the conversation is, it has to be had. You have to have the conversation on what the next steps is so that, you can bring the family together as one knit. So Mama's Girls has really taught me that, and learning from AARP, the 5 steps, has really taught me that even more. And I'm even more energized in sharing the message on how to prepare to care for a loved one.
Good. And so people who have been following AARP and Gdavis production film, they know all about Mama's Girls. What can they expect from this episode they're about to see, the episodes they're about to see? How is it going to be different in the play?
It's different because you get to see Mama, which I love. We talk about Mama doing, 1, a little bit of 2, but now Mama, you really get to see Mama, and Mama really answers a lot of questions that I, baby girl, have had over the years about, why did my mom leave me and all of that good stuff. So I'm really excited that everyone will get to see who Mom is and the story that she tells us on what happened to me as baby girl.
Good. So Julie's going to come back to you in just a few minutes, but I'm going to go to Dion Jones, the only male in the group, before we get to some of the other girls. Dion, you were brought into Mama's Girls in Mama's Girls 2, and Mama's Girls was already established. However, I think it's important that when we're telling stories that people get an opportunity to see someone else's perspective of what's taking place. We all get to see, from the 5 girls, but you're an outsider. You are, the boyfriend. You are the fiance. So from a storyline standpoint, Dion, how important is it for when other people are seeing someone else go through something to be a part of what's going on to help them out?
Yeah, Mr. G, appreciate this so much. Thank you so much. And I love all the girls and everything. It's the traditional blending of a family. New people come in, and sometimes old people go out, and you have this exchange of different people that come in, and coming in, with 5 sisters are very expressive, we'll say. Each one has their own personality, and finding the connection. You're coming in as the boyfriend / fiance, and hopefully we're going to do enough episodes where I just am the husband as well. All that so yeah, it's the everybody. People live through that. That's not an uncommon story. When you mix in and add in that it's wrapped around these healthcare issues and caregiving. It begins to, that's where some of the drama, if you will, from the episodes come, and some of the story, definitely the storyline that builds and everything. And I'm just anticipating the response to these next episodes that people see with the timing of everything. I'm just expecting a great response. Yes, sir.
So one of the things that Julie brought up, the 5 the 5 steps: start the conversation, form your team, make a plan, find support, and care for yourself. In Mama's Girls 2, baby girl, has developed or has been revealed that she has diabetes. And your character, Dion, you get very defensive of how the other sisters have treated her. And you come to her defense, but there's a whole lot of tension between you and the sisters. What would you tell someone who is caring for a loved one, but they're in some type of odds with their brother or sister because they don't feel like they're pulling their weight?
Sure.
That can be stressful trying to do it by yourself. But how stressful can it be when your brother and sister are arguing, but no one's taking care of mom?
Well, this is like right up my professional alley outside of acting. I'm a caregiver 24/7, and I've worked in the field of being there for people and just human services for almost 30 years now. And so oftentimes what people expect for you to do, they expect for you to do better than they would do, even if they're not there as consistently, and so it just to reiterate, it is an entire team effort. Everybody's part that they play, it's very important. And it doesn't have to always be on call 24/7 and right there with the person, but the support of the people that are giving the care becomes very interesting and very creative to do, because it's a fact that the caregivers oftentimes they have health issues themselves after they give all this care, and it's because it's demanding. And when people add pressure to it, depending on who they are, it can weigh differently, cause more stress and more tension. So even in the storyline of our plot with Mama's Girls 2, we really dig into they just treat me like a complete outsider. You're in our business and things of that nature. But I've been there with baby girl, and while she's been getting herself even ran down and things of that nature. So just to reiterate again, an extreme team effort, and don't make your expectations unrealistic. Jump in and do the work, the day-to-day if you can. If not the day-to-day, stick to your word about your week-to-week, your month-to-month, or whatever you was going to do, and also be in support of not just the one that's already sick or sickly or having health issues, but the one that's giving the care.
I think ARP is going to be an advocate before all this is over with. So we're going to come back. Well, before I leave you, I want to ask you a question. So you've been in Mama's Girls 2, you've seen Mama's Girls 1.
Yes.
What people are about to see episodes, the televised version of Mama's Girls. What can they expect? Those that have seen Mama's Girls, what can they expect from what they're about to see?
Well, the women that you already love in Mama's Girls, they really have turned it up a whole nother level with the filming. The addition of the great Ann Nesby, it just made a chemistry that was divine, to say the least. The timing of everything that's going on, it speaks to the genius of what GDP is. And Mr. G and the lane that's been created through your mind and your fingertips, and the timing of the pandemic and COVID, I'm certain they're going to totally enjoy it, and the drama of it and the comedy of it and everything. It's going to be a complete mixed form. They're going to the play is coming to life in a film type version in these episodes, and I know they're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, good. We're going to go to the one they call the attorney of the family. That's Kynya Daniels. Her role is Brianna, and she is the sister who has the job that produces the wealth that the sisters need to take care of Mama. But in every family, you have, I think, who these sisters represent. One who's the boss, who's saying everything. One who's actually doing everything, which was baby girl. And then, and others kind of get in where they fit in. So as we bring up Kynya, I wanted to ask you, when we start talking about Mama's Girls, you're one of the originals. How has, Mama's Girls mirrored, your personal life with having to be a caregiver for your mom and your dad before we lost him? How has Mama's Girls, kind of helped or reminded you or been there for you during this time?
Well, I have to say that I'm the youngest of four, and I have three older brothers, so I'm the only girl. So when we got together with these ladies, it really made it seem like a real sisterhood. These four ladies have really been a positive influence in my life, and we cry together, we laugh together, and that's one whole big thing with us. I mean, we truly fit in together as a family. Um, as me being a caregiver for my mom, who was taking care of my dad before he passed, her strength to me was really outgoing and encouraging. I'm sorry, and I seen where her strength came from as being a caregiver for my dad while she is handicapped in a wheelchair and having to take care of him. And now that I'm taking care of her, uh, is very emotional, but by her spirit being so friendly and funny and um, just getting to just really be with her, you know, it's hard in a way, but I enjoy it. So the caregiving piece is hard, but you get through it together.
You know, you brought up something that I think is really important. She talked about the sisterhood of the girls who are in Mama's Girls, and how they laugh together, they cry together, they get through hard times together, and they don't always see eye to eye. But that's any family. No family is going to see eye to eye. And I think as the creator of Mama's Girls, I have seen the camaraderie of these girls and the chemistry is like second to none. I've done several productions, but the chemistry that these girls have on stage is a representation of what they have off stage. And so when Kynya talked about her mother was an inspiration to her, taking care of her father, being handicapped, that only gave Kynya inspiration to now take care of her mother. And so I'm kind of summarizing all of that to say that everybody needs somebody. And by choice, you want it to be your brother or you want it to be your sister, but sometimes it's not. And so when it's not, you can't be upset and be mad because it's not. You have to have somebody that you can depend on. And I think what these five girls and or young ladies and this gentleman have together is something that I think is way beyond film and way beyond stage. As I look at my personal family, my mother who I put this whole company together for her mother, goodness, the Forgive Me Not Project, which everything was birthed out of. But now, my mother is, has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And as a caregiver, I'm just rethinking my life, period, and what's important to me. And you start to pay attention to things. And the reason we do all this stuff, guys, the reason you're about to see these episodes of Mama's Girls is not for fame, it's not for glory. It's to hopefully spread the word even further where the play could not go. Now it's going to be at the touch of a button in your home to sit down and enjoy and laugh. But after it's all over with, have a conversation with your loved ones about providing a better quality of life. So we talk about family. So Chanel is family. Chanel and I are actually related. I didn't find that out until much later, but we are related. See the resemblance? I think we got the same nose. No, I was just joking. But Chanel, interesting enough with you, you are the third Keke. And it seems like, we've gone through three Kekes and you are the third, hopefully the last. But what was your perception of, I want someone to talk about Mama's Girls, from afar, what perception did you have before you joined them and what perception you have now? I'm not talking about the storyline. I'm not talking about the play. I'm just talking about just your perception. Unmute your mic. Your mic is muted. She just a talking and a talking. Your mic is muted. There we go.
All right. Thank you, Dan. That
was a Paulette moment that you had.
Yes. But all right. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I seen a flyer for your play for Mama's Girls 1. And it was on Mother's Day, and my parents, they actually stayed near Wilmington, and they was actually in Greensboro at that time. And I said, Mom, you know what? It was on Sunday. You want to go see a play? It's Mother's Day. Let me take you out. And so we went to the play, and we fell in love. Like, that was kind of at the beginning of my acting stages. And here's my mother. You need to get with him. You need to find Mr. Davis. You need to go see him. That's who you need to be with. You got to go find him. And that's how it happened. So, and just so happened, Mr. Garrett was having an audition, and I came in that way, and we came to be. And so the perspective now, after being in the play, and after, before I was seeing it, it's like a dream come true. It's amazing. Like, and for us to keep going year after year after year, and us still standing strong, and now we're about to do a whole production that's going to take us for years to come. I already feel it. I feel it. I feel it. It's just, it's an amazing. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, and I just want to say thank you for that.
Oh, no problem.
From the outside looking in. Yeah.
So Chanel, let's talk about. So yeah, Mama's Girls is, I like to brag on Mama's Girls, and Forgive Me Not. Forgive Me Not, I think, doesn't get the credit that it deserves. It has been touring for 11 consecutive years. Mama's Girls went for 7 to 8 consecutive years. And that's something that doesn't happen. The life expectancy of a stage play is about 2 years. But I think, as Dion said, we kind of made our own mark with how we do things. So Chanel, let's talk about the other pieces that you've been in. I mean, you were fortunate enough to be in All Eyes on Me, the Tupac docu movie. You lived in Atlanta, and you was in. So how was that experience of being in other productions? How was that experience?
Well, I didn't know what to expect with All Eyes on Me. That was actually my first big major project where I actually had a speaking role. Before, I always say, actors, you got to get your feet wet. You got to do the grunt work. You got to start in as being an extra first, just to even see what the production side is, or what it is to even be on set and everything that comes with it. So actually having the opportunity to be that one that has a chair, has your name on it, and things of that nature, to be on the other side, it was another, God bless me, a dream come true, another one. And so then, being on set with you all, it was like riding a bike. We're doing it all over again, there's growing pains and everything. But when I tell you, y'all did your thing, you did your thing.
Yeah, I'll say we. I think so. For those of you that are watching and listening, she plays the role of Keke in Mama's Girls. You can see her in All Eyes on Me. I think she played Tupac's aunt. And but Chanel is definitely a funny character on stage as well. And so I think we're at the funniest person I've ever directed in my life. It is easy to write for Latonya Sims. Latonya has this canny ability to come in and change your script and make it her own. But she is funny. You see, look at her. She's funny now. But Paulette is a character that people just fall in love with. I think when we Latonya, we did Mama's Girls 2 in Culpeper, Virginia. I remember the organization that brought us there. They just fell in love with Paulette, and people fall in love with your character. How has that been from Mama's Girls 1 to now? How people just fall in love with your character. So who is Paulette?
Well, I think, Paulette is she's special. So I think that's part of why people fall in love with her, because she is so special, and she's kind of oblivious to things. She really takes things literally. Whatever is said, she literally takes it for what it is. And people don't understand her mindset and her thinking, but it comes across very funny and innocent. And so I think that's why people
Paulette,
really love Paulette.
I wanted to make sure we had a special person in Mama's Girls, because that represents every family has someone that's special. And when you have someone in your family that's special, you can talk about them, but can't nobody else talk about them. And I really think that's I didn't have to tell your other sisters that they take up for you on stage in life. I just think that's just real. I think that's what makes it real. So Latonya, what would you tell someone who has seen Paulette on stage what to expect in these episodes they're about to see?
Well, you're gonna expect Paulette. So what you saw on stage, you will definitely see in these episodes. Paulette is just being herself, her special self, and it's hilarious. And one thing I have to say about this production, I am an only child, so having these sisters has given me a whole nother feel for what family is. And so I'm so appreciative of that. And just knowing that, I've always wanted to know what it would be like to have sisters that I could argue with and laugh with and so forth. And I get to do that in Mama's Girls.
What about how has Mama's Girls affected your personal life in terms of seeing other caregivers and you being a caregiver yourself?
I have been a caregiver intermittently. Recently, I had a friend that had stage 4 cancer, and I was staying with her for a brief moment because I was planning to move to Atlanta. And so in the transition, I was staying with her, but she lost her sister, and I think that's what caused her decline. And just being there to take care of her, it just gave me another appreciation for life. And intermittently, when my father was sick many years ago and he was on disability, I was taking care of him intermittently. And so I do get to relate somewhat with caregiving. And I think the hardest thing for me was with my girlfriend that died. She had a do not resuscitate order. And so with that, it was very hard because, selfishly, you want your friends to live or whatever they can do to save their life. And she had already made up her mind, if she was to be unconscious for any reason, whatever, she didn't want to be resuscitated. And so that was challenging for me, but those were her wishes. And so we had to abide by them.
All right. You bring up two words that stand out I want to comment on before I ask you another question. One is selfishly. And a lot of times when we are caregivers and we're caring for our loved one, even in our prayers, we can be selfish saying, God, keep Mama here another year. God, keep Mama here until. And we're saying those things. This is my personal opinion. We're saying those things selfishly because that's what we want. And sometimes as a caregiver, all the time, I think we need to step outside ourselves. And covenant means when you inconvenience yourself or someone else, that's just not physically, but that's also emotionally. And when you can say, God, let your will be done, and you have to accept that. And then you said intermittently, and true to form, that is true. However, for the first time in the history of the world, there are more people over 65 than under 17. So at some point, you're going to be caring for someone, or someone's going to be caring for you. That's why I think these Mama's Girls episodes that you're about to see is going to help you have those difficult conversations and go through those 5 steps. So lastly, Latonya,
absolutely.
And we've got about 2 minutes, but quickly, Latonya, what can people expect to see from Ann Nesby as Mama, from your opinion?
From my opinion, because they didn't see her in the play, we always kind of talked about her. Now they'll actually see that we have a mama, and and all the things that they saw in the play about Mama, they'll be able to see in the episodes. And she brings the family together because now we have a real family. The only thing I asked her, and I said, Mama, where's Daddy? So, only Paulette would think about that.
Yeah. So, of course, those of you that are true Mama Girl fans, you know that Paulette's father was the milkman. played by yours truly. And
Yes.
I promise you, at some point, you will see your daddy in one of these episodes. But ladies and gents, it's been a pleasure having you guys on. Our time is drawing near. It's time for them to see, the episodes of Mama's Girls, The Return of Mama's Girls. I did not want them to start seeing The Return of Mama's Girls before they got an opportunity to see the real Mama's Girls: Julie Logan, Kynya Daniels, Samantha McSwain Stiff, Latonya Sam, Chanel Young, and of course, Miss Dion Jones. Hope you guys enjoyed The Return of Mama's Girls. Thank you.